Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I hope you taught your children, if you have children or grandchildren, to be careful with whom they associate themselves with. That is, or in other words, show me your friends so I know who you are. Show me the people you associate yourself with, and that's going to give me an idea of what kind of person you most likely are. Now, we have Trump and Netanyahu. Netanyahu, the prime minister of the Jewish state, is hosted by the president of the United States of America in Washington, D.C. as we speak. And I have to bring you this. It doesn't mean that if you're charged with a crime, you are guilty of anything, okay? Unless that goes through the justice system and you're put in front of a judge and you have the opportunity to defend yourself against the allegations or accusation, you are clean. You are clean. So Netanyahu has an arrest warrant issued on his name for war crimes, alleged war crimes in Gaza. So this by an internationally recognized organization. Now, it doesn't mean that that organization does not have agendas. We all have agendas. Everybody has an agenda somewhere. Like I have the agenda, let's say, of truth and justice. That's my agenda. So I want that. You have your agenda of doing something else. So in this case, I'm not saying that ICC court in The Hague is, the pinnacle of perfection and beauty justice. I'm not saying that. But you can't, as the Western countries do, and these jackals in the media do, you like ICC when ICC issues an arrest warrant for Putin, but you don't like it when the same body, ICC, issues it for Netanyahu. And then you impose sanctions on ICC court and on the judges because they dared to issue an arrest warrant with some, probable cause. It seems like against Netanyahu. Netanyahu is in Washington, D.C., and Netanyahu, the man of peace, presents to Donald Trump a nominating letter to the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, if this is not the, as I call it, the reality or the theory of inversion, up is down, down is up, good is evil, evil is good, criminal is the judge, peace is war, and war is peace. I don't know what it is. I've been yapping about this for so long. It's too obvious. So you have Netanyahu, a guy who is, by ICC court standards, that we loved when they issued an arrest warrant against Putin, right? Remember? They love that. Now, a guy who is wanted by a criminal court, including the corruption in Israel, but that's political, I guess. They're all corrupt, so they could do like this and pick the politicians, and you can most likely get them guilty if in a real just society. So this guy, accused of war crimes, gives the other guy who just attacked another country, illegally bombarded another country, that's a war crime. Nobody died, it's a violation of international law, bombarded Iran, and a nomination to the Nobel Peace Prize. You understand the idiocracy here? And the media treats this as, man, it's fantastic. So are the media the enemy of the people then? People being you and I, the commoners, or not? They are portraying something that obviously is so screwed up as normal, and oh my God, look at these decent people. Now, let me show you. And by the way, Netanyahu says something that I said they will say it eventually clearly. There's not going to be any independent Palestinian state. It ain't going to happen. I told you that. But hey, conspiracy theories that come true somehow. The same with COVID and a vaccine. So here, this is the front page from Yahoo. Netanyahu meets Trump at the White House, presents letter nominating him for Nobel Prize. BBC. And right here is comments. How many comments are there? 666 for the guys who believe in that one. So this is, as I said, the front page from Yahoo, and there is right there. If I select that, it's going to be a different title right here. That's why I stopped there. The title is Netanyahu upbeat on Gaza ceasefire talks as he hosts Netanyahu. But as I said, the real one is this, is the title. Next one. Sputnik, Netanyahu nominates Trump for Nobel Peace Prize. What the hell, my friends? And then we have this. Netanyahu and Trump need each other. This is the Telegraph. But who will blink first? We're like brothers. Right there. Blood brothers, right? So these guys are who associate yourself with and vice versa. It's clear. And this guy is going to probably get the Nobel Peace Prize because this guy somehow has the, I don't know, whatever you want to say. Even the guys in Pakistan said that, hey, Trump deserves a peace prize. For me, the Peace Prize was screwed up when I saw two people becoming laureates of the Nobel Peace Prize. The first one was Elie Wiesel, and he wrote a shitty book. I mean, shitty book as a quality, I'm talking about. In literature, we don't have Dostoevsky, he's dead, but nevertheless, or Tolstoy, we don't have these guys. No. We have Maya Angelou, who's dead. And we had Elie Wiesel, who's dead. Okay? And that his book, White Knights, who tell us about the concentration camps and the evil Germans. Okay? That was, that one got him the Nobel Peace Prize. By the way, he was born in Sighet, now in Romania. Not Romanian. It's like Zelensky, not Ukrainian. But anyway, so when I saw that and when I looked into that piece of art, literature, I said, okay, that has done it for me. The second one, when it was a real confirmation, was the former president of the United States of America, Barack Hussein Barry Obama. Before he was sworn in, if I remember correctly, so he won the elections first time after he's been a senator for 2 years, an obscure guy, obscure in politics. He was an community organizer. That's Obama. Community organizer. He became a senator of Illinois, if I remember. 2 years in Senate. Boom, president twice. Now, isn't that fantastic? Man, he was like a meteor right there. And you talk about people opening door, pushing, and that's a clear example. And then he got the Nobel Peace Prize, or he was nominated and he won it before he was sworn in as the president. He hasn't done shit yet. And he did a lot of shit in Libya, for instance. But he got the Nobel Prize. So I said, all right. Before that, just so you know, when I was a kid, I knew when I listened and he was for Nobel Peace Prize, this. There were too many of one group winning. And I remember I asked my father and my uncle, it was an uncle, and I asked, what's going on here? I was, 14, 15. Why are they winning all the time? And they looked at one another. My uncle and my father were very well positioned in the society. So you can tell, they didn't have any problem. But they did not tell me. They looked at one another, started laughing a little bit, like smiling, and say, because those guys are in charge. They didn't tell me who those guys are. Like I really don't tell you, but you know who those guys are in charge. The guys who nominate probably other people. Right there. So they nominated, my friends. Donald Trump has billed Benjamin Netanyahu visit to the White House on Monday as a celebration of the strikes on Iran. So this is how the Telegraph reports an illegal strike, criminal strike of a country, of a leader of a country, of another sovereign independent country that did not attack us, did not pose an immediate threat, but because... So this is how they portrayed celebration of the strikes on Iran. But it also comes with a trickle, ceasefire in Gaza. In Gaza, I tell you what's going to happen in Gaza. This is how they talk about it, the Jerusalem Post. Gaza for Fordow. Did Netanyahu master the art of the strategic deal? It was no strategic deal. Is this guy? And what's behind him own this guy. Clear. It's like you go to a competition where the referees are yours, in your pocket. And then say, Emil won the competition. He worked hard, do all those push-ups, punch the bag, do all those sparring. He ran. All that, man, all that. No, the referees are his guys. Then, and luckily, Emil did not get knocked out. And because if you get knocked out, everybody's like, illegal blow, disqualified, Emil won. That happened in my life. Not with me, I didn't get knocked out. Someone else got hit with illegal blow and she won. Anyway, yeah, I will never forget those things. So here it is, my friend, and this is the first sentence. Listen to this. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's current trip to Washington will likely provide the answer to one of the most asked questions since How will Israel's success in Iran impact the situation in Gaza? They will keep going. They will keep going, my friends. That's how they are going to do. And he, right here, the big winner and the small winner. And the finale, 8th of July, fully independent Palestinian state would pose threat to Israel. That's it. You can have it. So when it's fully independent, that means it must be controlled. Who's going to control it? That's when they say fully independent state would pose threat to Israel. That means, remember, Israel is fighting a war of self-defense. Therefore, it can strike Lebanon, can strike Syria, can strike in Iraq, can strike in Iran, can strike in Germany, can strike in France, can strike wherever they want. Self-defense. So if that poses a threat to Israel in self-defense, we're going to conduct another preemptive strike in Gaza. And by the way, remember, Trump says we're going to send weapons to Patriot systems to Ukraine. Zelensky, another one. Because I hate seeing children, innocent children die, being killed. I care for children. Okay, and my answer to that is, that means, Mr. President, you're going to send Patriot systems, air defense systems, to Gaza for the Palestinians. A lot of children, innocent children, are killed as we speak by, you know what I mean? The guy who nominates you right now for Peace Prize. I mean, do you hear the media talking about it like that? And if you don't think that's the case, remember, Netanyahu is not guilty of anything yet. He just avoids. It's how other people interpret this arrest warrant versus Putin's arrest warrant. You want to do something for me? Please go and check and see how many children, innocent children, were killed by the Russians in 3 years, right? Let's give it over there. And how many children were killed in Gaza in 2 years or a year and a half, or how much you want. And you got the territory, the number of people, and get it proportionate. So to 2 million people, Palestinians, see how many children perished. And in Ukraine, who was, I don't know, about 41 million people, see how many children perished. And you're going to see a proportion, and there you have it. But hey, we're going to impose sanctions on the ICC court in The Hague. But on the other hand, no. I mean, as allegedly Joseph Stalin said, the Georgian Djugashvili, communist criminal, but I don't know, by current standards with Netanyahu and Trump, I don't even know if I should say that. He said, well, life is like this. If someone kills one man or one person, that's a criminal. If one man kills 1 million people, it's a matter of statistics. There you have. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.